What's up, Facebook? Ty Crandall here with Credit Suite, and today we are wrapping up our training on credit scoring. So we've talked about consumer credit scores a couple weeks ago. Then last week we talked about commercial credit scores. We talked about how business credit scores work, how your corporate credit scores that are linked to your business EIN actually work. Today, we're talking about our third type of credit, which is called bank credit. What's up, Michael? Thanks for coming in. Good morning. So today we're talking about bank credit. We're talking about the third type of credit that you have that mostly nobody knows about. So most people, almost everybody's familiar with consumer credit, right? You know how that is. You know how it works now, especially if you tapped into our training. And now, if you're following us, you're probably becoming more familiar with business credit. You're understanding that your EIN has its own credit profile, its own credit score. And now you understand, per last week, how your business credit scores work that are linked to your EIN. Here's what you might not know. You have a third type of credit, and it's called bank credit. It's also called a bank rating. This is a credit score you'll never see. You'll never even know exactly what your bank rating is because banks don't publish it. It's an internal score that banks use to determine if you should be issued a business loan. But here's what's important. If you ever, and I mean ever, are going to go to your bank to get a business loan, you need to know what this is. You need to know how this works because your bank rating will determine if you will get approved and the rates and terms that you'll pay. Thank you guys very much for the loves. Thank you very much, Michael Moody and 7 others. Thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it. So today we're going to decode this thing because this is something, and Mr. Alex Freeze just arrived. You could tell with all the crazy likes going across the screen. So the bank rating is something you really need to know about because if you're ever going to go in and get a business bank loan, this is going to be what's used to determine if you'll get approved, the rates and terms that you'll pay. It's the third type of credit you have, and today we're going to decode it. So if you missed our previous training, go to Credit Suite or go to facebook.com/Credit Suite, grab our consumer training on credit scoring, grab our business credit training on credit scoring that we went over in the last 2 weeks, and you'll know exactly how your consumer and your commercial credit scores work. And today, by the end of this live stream, you're going to know how your actual bank credit scores work. So if you're ever going to get a bank loan, there's some things you could do right before you go in to apply to make sure you have the best chance of getting approved. So let's take a look. So here's the whiteboard that we've kind of been going over here. Whoa, something happened here. Somebody came in and cleaned my office and moved all my stuff. This would be my kids. This is what happens when you have like kids in your office. They take all of your markers and they draw kind of crazy things on your board, like this right here. Okay, so this is what we've went over the last few weeks, right? We've got consumer credit scores. We went through, broke that down. I'm not going to go through that with you again. We went through bank credit scores. We talked about how with consumer credit scores, there's a bunch of things that factor into your score, making it harder to control. Many years of well-disciplined borrowing to get this right like you want to. With business credit scores, it's much easier, as we've talked about. Business credit scores are based on primarily how you pay your bill. You pay your bill prompt or on time, you get a good score. You pay it early, you get a better score. Same thing here with Equifax, and pretty much the same thing with Experian. The bottom line is, and Kasana, thank you very much for sharing. Thanks everybody for coming and sharing. I appreciate it. So with business credit scores, much easier to get good scores because all you have to do is get some accounts that report to Equifax, D&B, and Experian, pay your bills as agreed, and that gives you good scores. So much easier to establish good business credit scores, guys. This is why it's so fast to build business credit. Because if you come in, as we talked about, and you get a couple of these little trade vendors here, and then these guys report to the reporting agency, so you get a Uline account, and you pay your bill on time as agreed, and get a quill and monopolize your marketplace, and you pay them as agreed, and they report it to these guys, then all it takes is those reportings with good payment history to get a good score. So fairly easy to control your business credit scores. It just comes down to how you pay. Today we're talking about bank credit. Now bank credit is very unique. This is an internal credit scoring system that's only available at conventional banks, so banks use this, and they use it to determine if you'll be issued a business loan or not. So if you ever want to walk in and get a business loan, you need to know this. Now here's why this is so important. So many people come to me and say, hey, listen, I got a good 80 Paydex score. I have a good business credit score. And I say, so what? That only means you pay your bills as agreed. If you want to walk in your bank and get a loan, you need to know your bank credit score, because your bank credit score, your business credit score, and your consumer credit score are all going to be used to determine your approval for a bank loan. So even if you establish your business credit, congratulations, you can get $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 individual limit credit cards. But as you take that move from credit cards and credit lines to loans, and you start to walk into your bank, it's a whole other world. Then you've got to get your consumer credit in line. You've got to get your bank credit in line to have a chance of getting approved, which is why what we're talking about is so important. Veronica, welcome. Thanks for coming in. CR Publishing LLC, thank you very much for sharing it. It says 9 others, but I give a shout out to everybody that shares it, that it shows me it does. Thank you. And Alex, thanks for going crazy on the next. Okay, so here's how the bank credit score works. Now, just like with business credit, it's primarily based on how you pay your bills. With bank credit, it's primarily based on how much money you have in your bank account. So a low 5, right here, a low 5, a mid 5, or a high 5 are lendable. These are 3 where you can get a bank loan. If you are a high 4, mid 4, or low 4, you will not get a bank loan from a conventional bank if you try to get one for your business. So basically, it comes down to how much money you keep in your bank account. If you have $10,000 or more, you will have an acceptable bank rating. Now, it doesn't have to be permanent. It's over the last 90 days. So I'm going to give you a hack here that's going to help you. So for example, if you want to get a bank loan and you keep 10 grand on average in your bank account, you're going to have a low 5 rating and you're going to be lendable. You're not going to be as lendable as a high 5 rating, but you're still going to be lendable. If you keep 40 to 70,000 basically in your account, you're a mid 5 rating. If you have a high 5 rating, then you're 70,000 basically plus in your bank account. So if your business bank account has these kind of balances over the last 90 days, that's what gives you an acceptable bank rating. Now let's go the other way. If you're 7 to 10 grand, you're a high 4, but that's not lendable at a bank. 4,000 to 7,000 average in the bank isn't lendable, and 1,000 to 4,000 is a low 4. If you're less than 1,000, you don't even have a rating. You're below a low 4. So the bottom line is, with bank ratings, your internal bank credit score that's used by conventional banks to rate if your business should be given a business loan, here's how it works. Pay very close attention. Guys, you can look on Google. You will not find this info. It's not published. So the bottom line, if you're going to get a business loan, the more money you keep on average in your bank account over the last 90 days, the better chance you're going to have of getting the loan. 10,000 is the bottom threshold for the low 5 rating. 40,000 is the bottom threshold for the mid 5. 70,000 is the bottom threshold for the high 5 rating, the highest rating you can have. Here's the great news. The main factor that's used to determine your bank credit score is based on one thing and one thing only: how much you keep in your bank account. Here's the bad news. If you had a bunch of money in your bank account, I don't know, you probably wouldn't be going to get a business loan, right? Yes. So here's what you need to know. 90-day average is what this is based on. So the key here is that if you're going to get a business loan, if you're going to go into your bank and apply for a loan, make sure you have as much in that account 90 days before, and keep as much in the account 90 days before as you possibly can to get approved. So let me give you an example. There's all kinds of alternative financing out there. For example, we offer an unsecured business financing program. Works for startups, no documentation required, where somebody can get 50, 100, even 150,000 in real usable money. Well, let's say that you want to get this. You get 0% for 6 to 18 months, working capital credit line, great program. Let's say you're going to go in to apply for an actual bank loan. Well, maybe you get a program like this, get 50 grand, put it in your business bank account, and just have it sit there for 90 days. That way, you're paying 0% on it anyways. That way, your bank rating is as high as it possibly can be 90 days later. Your chances of getting the business loan are much better, and all you've done is basically get the money, put it in the account. That's the beauty here. This isn't like a mortgage where the funds are seasoned, where they have to know where the money comes from. They don't. With a bank rating, all they care about is that you've got the money in the bank account. And over the last 90 days, how much money you keep in your bank account will ultimately determine your bank rating. So again, a lot of things to keep in mind. Most importantly, keep as much money as possible in your bank account 90 days before you apply. Even if you need to go to an alternative lender or credit line and borrow the money to put in the bank account to give you a higher bank rating to help you get the business loan, it makes sense. It's good strategy. So something to keep in mind. Now, there's more to this than just the amount that you keep in the actual bank account. And Maurice, that's good information. I appreciate that. And Jameen, thank you very much for sharing. Ferris, thank you for sharing. Negus, I hope, Negus Royce Wheeler, I don't know if I pronounced your first name right, but thank you very much for sharing. So your bank credit score, primarily based on how much money you keep in the bank account. You want to keep at least $10,000 in there. If you keep 40 or 70, it's even better. The higher the 5 rating you can get, the more lendable you'll be. But there's other factors that tie into this as well. So 90-day balances, definitely. Number of non-sufficient funds. Basically, what they want to see is that you're not overdrawing the account. So this really has to do with positive cash flow if you think about it. They want to see more money going in the bank account than what's coming out of the bank account. If you've done this, you've got positive cash flow. You don't have a bunch of non-sufficient funds because you're carrying a balance. And again, you're carrying the balance. The higher the score. They also want to see consistent deposits. So for example, if you're a retailer, they're going to like you better than if you were a real estate agent. Real estate agents only have 2 or 3 big deposits a month, maybe. And as a retailer, you probably have deposits going in every single day. So the consistency of your deposits matters into your bank rating. How long you've had a bank account matters into your bank rating as well. This is why I tell people, look, when you set up a business, the number one thing you do is get your entity set up with Secretary of State. Number 2 is EIN, get set up with IRS. Number 3 is set up your business bank account. Most business bank accounts you can with like 25 or 50 bucks is all it takes to set it up. And what you have to understand is with shelf corporations coming in and people trying to fake how long they've been open for, now more than ever, lenders are looking at when you opened your bank account as the seasoning for your business. So this means you could have incorporated your business January of 2014. You just opened your bank account January of 2017. A lot of lenders are going to see that January 2017 is when your business was actually established. Whether we like it or not, this makes a lot of sense because if you're really going to start doing business, you're going to have a bank account. So people that get bank or set up an entity and never do anything with it, well, those aren't really businesses from a lender's eyes until you start doing real business. You start doing real business when you open your bank account. So 2 reasons that you need to make sure you open your bank account as soon as possible after you set up that entity. 1, a lot of lenders will look at the bank account setup date as the date your company was established. And 2, the other thing is that with your bank rating, the longer you've had your bank account open, the higher your bank rating will be. So another factor that ties in. So another thing here, and let's see here, how do you get the 0% interest again? I'll go over that in just a second. That's not in this training, but I'll tell you about that in just a second. Veronica, hold on. The other thing is other bank products you have. Do you have other bank accounts with the bank? Do you have other overflow accounts? Do you have money market accounts? What other accounts do you have? The more products you're using for your bank, the higher your bank rating will be. So let's look at this thing all together. 90-day balance is primary driver of what's called your bank rating or your bank credit score. And the bottom line is you don't want to be a 4. You need to be a 5 to be lendable. Low 5 is 10,000 to 40,000. Okay, mid 5 rating is 40,000 to 70,000. A high 5 bank rating is 70 to 100. Preferably, you want to be a full mid or high 5. So remember, this is a 90-day average. So if you want to get a bank loan, then make sure you have as much money in that account the 90 days prior to applying. Even if you borrow the money from an alternative lender to put it in there to help improve your bank rating, it's worth it. Remember, other factors tie into it, all having to do with bank account management. Don't overdraw your account. That can hurt your bank rating. Have positive cash flow. Put more in the account than you're pulling out. Make sure you have consistent deposits. Don't just randomly deposit your money in your bank account maybe a few times. That could really hurt your bank rating. How long you've had your bank account matters. So get the things set up as soon as you set up your entity. And also take advantage of other products that your bank has. Okay, make sure that you go and you check out a money market account. Get a second account with them, etc., etc. Those are good things to actually do to have a good bank. So, for example, we have a money market account. We also have a second checking account that we use with an ATM card attached, right? Because we don't want to have a debit card for our main account. If somebody were to steal that or get the number, they could take money out. So we have a small account that we keep $1,000, $2,000 in, that we have an ATM card that's linked to, and whenever we want to use a debit card, we use it for that secondary account. The smart thing about that is that we're using multiple products from the bank. It helps our bank rating. Our bank rating is higher because we have multiple checking accounts, because we have a money market account. The more accounts we have set up with the bank, the more they like us, the better bank rating they give us. So those are little hacks and things you could do to make sure you have the best bank rating you can have. Now, Veronica asked about another program. It's a little off topic, but I will go over it, that we've talked about before, called an Unsecured Business Financing Program. Marie, welcome. With this program, if you have a 685 credit score or higher, or a guarantor that has one, and I'll answer your question in just a second. Let me get Veronica's answer. If you have a 685 FICO or a guarantor that has one, family member, friend, colleague, partner, then you can get up to $150,000 in unsecured financing. So this works good with your bank rating, because you can actually get the money with this program to put in your bank account to get your rating as high as possible to get a conventional loan. Up to $150,000, what does that mean? You usually get about 5 to 8 times the amount of your highest credit limit account. So the highest revolving credit limit account you have now is $10,000. With this program, you could usually get $50,000 to $80,000. It's 0% for about 6 to 18 months. It's unsecured. You don't need collateral for approval. That's what unsecured means. It's no doc. You don't need bank statements, and you don't need tax returns for approval for this program either. Okay, and what you're ultimately getting is about 5 business credit cards that report to the Business Credit Reporting Agency. A bunch of things, Veronica, about this program that you're going to love. First of all, you can get it even as a startup. You can get it even with no revenue. You can get it even when you have no collateral. Pretty tough to get financing in those situations. This works. Second, it's 0% financing for 6 to 18 months. So when you're especially getting your business ramped up to make money, the lowest interest rate, the lowest payment you can possibly get is what's important. With the Unsecured Business Financing Program, you can't get lower than 0%. The other cool benefit of this program is you can get cash out. It's like the best things that exist in credit cards and the best things that exist in credit lines. We love credit cards because they give us 0% rates for 6 to 18 months. Credit lines don't do that. We love credit lines because they allow us to take the physical cash out of the card without a high penalty. With this account, you get both. You get 0% for 6 to 18 months, and you also get full cash out capabilities. So if you get $100,000 in credit cards, you could take $100,000 out and still keep the 0% intact on that $100,000. That's why I was saying it's perfect for this program, because you could pay 0%, put the money in your bank account, and have a high bank rating and still get the money. And all you need is good personal credit or a good guarantor that has personal credit to qualify. It's an awesome program, one of the most popular. So Veronica, hopefully that answers your questions. Q, can I apply for Office Depot and 5 payment experiences, 3 at DB? You can apply for Office Depot, and they'll probably approve you. Sometimes, if Staples and Office Depot don't like how many trade lines you have, they'll approve you for a net 30 account versus revolving. And if they do that, go ahead and take it. Continue getting more accounts, add them, and then you'll be to a point where you can get the revolving account. But usually with 5 payment experiences, you can usually get approved for Office Depot with no issue, Q. So hopefully that answers your question. Quentin, thank you very much for sharing. And everybody else so far that I mentioned, thank you. Michael Moody, how much is that program? Can you email me? If you email us, info@creditsuite.com, I can. I won't be able to jot down your email on this live stream, but if you email us, info@creditsuite.com, we'll get you that. And if you're interested in this program, guys, this unsecured program we just talked about, there's a few things you could do. Just call us, first of all. Our team will tell you about it, 877-600-2487, 877-600-2487. You can also just go right in to get approved. creditsuite.com/get funding. There you can fill out a quick qualification, and we'll contact you regarding this program and everything else you qualify. But if you have good credit or good credit guarantor and just want to know more, well then just call us. 877-600-2487. That's our number. We'll tell you more. 877-600-2487. I already told you most details of the program, but it's a really cool program because, again, bunch of money when you can't usually get a business loan. They're credit lines giving you full cash capability. And again, 0% for 6 to 18 months. Oh, one other thing I kind of forgot to mention, it's kind of important, is that with that program, those accounts report to the business credit reporting agencies. So they may give you 5 to 8 accounts, and maybe 5 of those report to the business credit reporting agencies. So you're building your business credit as well as getting the money at 0%. So it's a pretty cool way to get money, even as a startup, to get credit lines where you normally can't get those as a startup. And again, if you're getting a conventional loan down the road, it's great to help you boost your bank rating. It's just a hack or a shortcut you can use. Can I apply through my current account? Yes, you absolutely can. How much is it? That program, let me tell you. We don't charge you a dime, as you know, guys. If you're ever trying to get a loan, whether it be private money loan, we have a 90-10 loan that's like long-term term loans. We have collateral-based financing. We never charge you a dime, okay? We help you, and a lot of times the lender will pay us a referral fee. That's how we get paid. So with this program, we don't ever charge you anything, but the lender typically charges a 9 to 12% fee that, just like SBA, you roll right into the card. So if you get one card with a limit of 15 grand that reports to the business credit reporting agency, let's say 10 grand, then what they'll do is that you'll pay a fee of about $900 to $1,200 on that $10,000 card. Usually if they're going to get you under 30 grand, they might charge you the 12%. It can be even lower than that depending on risk, but that's on average what you'll probably pay. Is if you're getting more than 30 grand, you'll probably pay less than a 10% fee, and they roll it right in. To give you an equivalent, an SBA loan is going to charge you 7-8% when you're done paying all the fees to SBA and to the actual lender. With this, you don't have any of the requirements you need for SBA. You can get approved. You can roll the fee right in, which means you don't pay up front ever a dime. You never should for funding. I don't believe in that. What you should do is you get the actual cards, and once you get them, then they'll actually expect to be paid. So you can actually use the cards you get to be paid, which is pretty cool. And a lot of these lenders will help you with the liquidation process, the getting the cash out. Some cards are a little tougher to get cash out on, so they might even move your fee to that card to make it easier for you to get all the cash out if you want all the cash out. You might not want all the cash out on that program. So is it based on personal guarantee? Yes, that program is. Now remember, guys, there's a couple ways to build business credit. The purpose of building business credit is to get credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social, right? To get it without a social security number and without a personal guarantee. But to make that happen, you've got to build a bunch of credit first. You got to build vendor accounts and then get store accounts. Then with 10 or 15 credit accounts reporting, you can start to get fleet and cash credit. This is all no personal guarantee. So for example, here's real approvals from clients. Visa for $11K, Bank of America for $11, Dell for $40, Amazon for $35, Best Buy for $40,000. These are all individual limit credit card accounts, none of which require a personal credit check or guarantee. The reason that these are possible is because somebody has their business credit established. They have good business credit scores. They've got a bunch of accounts reporting. This program I'm telling you about does require a personal credit check and does require a personal guarantee because you don't yet have your business credit established. But the benefit is that this kind of replaces vendor accounts. So when you use these cash credit cards, what you're doing is replacing step 3 in the process. So now you're going to get your 5 accounts that are cash credit card accounts with a personal guarantee. That establishes a credit profile with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax. Once you start to use these cards, they report. Then you have trade lines. Then you immediately skip to start getting store credit without a personal guarantee. As you start to get approved for this kind of store credit, then you'll get fleet credit cards, auto vehicle financing, Visa cards, MasterCards, all without a personal guarantee. So that's how that works. Guys, remember that a personal guarantee is required when your business cannot stand on its own. If you don't have 15 trade lines on your business credit reports, your business cannot stand on its own and will need a personal guarantee from you. That's why we go through the teaching we go through, to teach you how to get the trade lines on your report, because as you get 10, 15 trades, you could get pretty much any kind of revolving credit you want without a guarantee, but you're not going to do it unless you establish your business credit. That's always a necessity. This program is a hack to help you do it. You can get up to 150 grand in unsecured cash financing with a personal guarantee. It reports to the business credit reporting agencies, and then that helps you get to a point where you can get the credit without a personal guarantee. So hopefully I went in on that program. Email me. I don't have your email and I wasn't able to write it down. So Michael, do me a favor. Email info@creditsuite.com and say the same thing with your phone number, and we'll get in touch with you today. You answered it. Thanks. I have a 750. Veronica, you need about a 685 to get in, so you should definitely qualify. And you know what? It's no credit check or pull at all. Actually, our source uses a soft pull, so you don't need credit monitoring. You don't need anything. Just call us, 877-600-2487. Our guys will tell you a little bit about the program like I did. We get a little bit of info. We'll get you transferred right over. So far, 2 hours is what we're averaging for approvals. So what we're doing is we'll get you to our funding source, and within 2 hours, they're sending you over a pre-approval that tells you how much you can qualify for right now. No credit pull, no inquiry, nothing at that point. If it looks good and you want to move forward, the process moves pretty quick. Same day, you can already have them working on your approvals, and the approvals come in about 1.5 to 3 weeks. So you can literally secure the money in 1.5 to 3 weeks, 0% for 6 to 18 months, get accounts that report to the business credit reporting agencies. It's really one of the best programs I've seen out there. And again, from what we're seeing, in less than 2 hours, you're actually getting your initial pre-approval. So if that makes sense, well, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. It costs you nothing to figure out what the funding source can actually get you in approvals, not even an inquiry. So take the step. If you want to move forward, as they start to apply, you'll have some inquiries, but none of that will happen until you tell them to move forward. So it's worth taking a look at. Anthony, thank you very much for sharing. I appreciate it. Can I get a mortgage loan? I'm not your guy for that. If you want a commercial mortgage, we could talk. Residential mortgage, I'm not your guy. So I really can't answer that question. I will probably guide you to somebody that actually specializes in mortgage financing. I love your info. I purchased your program, but the advisors don't have the knowledge you have. Also, the line is always busy. Well, our advisors, the good thing about our advisors queue is that our advisors will stay on the phone for you for 30 or 60 minutes. The problem with that is that if we've got 3, 4, 5 advisors on and everybody's on a 15, 20-minute phone call, then you might run into that. If you do, that's okay. Hit our live chat app, leave a voicemail, send an email. Our team gets back to you very quickly. We mandate within an hour. We try to get them back to you within 20 minutes. So we'll always get back to you quickly. And the good thing is that we'll spend the same time with you that you actually will spend, or we'll spend the same time with you that we're spending with somebody else that's on the other line if that happens. And when it comes to knowledge, they're the ones I go to for answers. So Michael Moody, for example, asked me last week about Nordstrom reporting. I didn't know. So I called our advisor team, and our advisor team got me all the research and told me exactly what they were. Seton just stopped reporting. Advising team is what told me that. So they're very, very, very well equipped to help you. In a lot of cases, they have more knowledge than I do. On some topics, they don't. But on the business credit building side, they can definitely help you there. Marie, thank you for sharing. I need your help. Reginald, give us a ring. We'll talk to you more. We can help you with business credit and loans. 877-600-2487. I have 5 accounts reporting to Equifax Business. Does that help you get funding without a PG? Not with 5. You're on your way, Wade. You're on your way. But you have to understand, guys, when you want a business loan that's based on your business credit, there's a lot more things on your business credit report than just your trade lines. How long you've been in business, how many employees you have, your revenues, your profits, all that ties in. So if you want to go in and get a business loan, it's not about having 5 trade lines. It's a matter of having about 15 trade lines or more to get away without a personal guarantee. And then they're going to look at your credit report to see your revenues, to see your time in business. All that would have to be very solid to get a physical loan without actually needing a personal guarantee. Because again, a personal guarantee is needed when your business can't stand on its own. It can't stand on its own with only 5 trades. You'd have to have 15 trades or more to even be considered for a loan without a PG. And even if you got there, you still need to make sure that your revenues, your profits, your employees, the size of your business all reflects that you're worthy, because they'll look at all that on your credit report as well. Twyla, thank you very much for sharing. That's awesome. That's awesome. Veronica, 9 to 12% fee, is that the only option? Depends. We have a lot of funding programs. Remember, business credit that I teach you to build with no personal guarantee has none of those fees. And all loans have some kind of fee, points and interest. That's how they all make money. On this one, yeah, we've got a bunch of different sources. They usually range from 9 to 15% is what they charge as a fee. We do a lot of business with them, so we get the fee down about 25% lower than what you'd find out there. And usually on the end, it's about 9 to 12% is what the fee is for that 0% program. You do commercial mortgages. We do. If you have any questions, let us know. 877-600-2487. We work with a network of brokers that do. We don't ever offer any of our own loans. What we do is help find the sources that will approve you and get you connected with those sources. My highest line is $25,000 credit card. Does that mean I'll get about $125 and pay 9% of that? That means you can get whatever you want. You might say, I only want 50. You might say, I want 100, I want 75. What they'll do is give you an approval and they'll say, hey, look, we can get you up to 125 grand, which is probably fairly accurate to what you may be able to get if your highest line's 25. And then you might say, I don't want 125, I only want 75 or 50. But yeah, they could probably get you approved up to 125. If you wanted that full amount, you'd pay a 9% fee on that. So you'd pay 12 grand. To get $125,000 in unsecured financing at 0% rates for 6 to 18 months that lets you liquidate and take all the physical cash out, i.e. a product you'll never find out there in the space. So it's a pretty good deal. It's one of my favorite programs because if you really look at the fees, interest rates, and points you pay, it's pretty affordable. When it comes to revenue lending, people are paying 30, 40 to 60% on the money they're borrowing. With this, you're paying 9 to 12% depending on some specifics of risk. And with that, you're getting 0% for 6 to 18 months and able to liquidate all the cash. And if you don't want the 25, don't get the 125. It's that simple. Just get whatever amount you want. And you can always come back and get more. Okay, so I think that answers all the questions. So let's review everything we've talked about here today and give you a chance to kind of, whoa, I have my hand over there, to answer any other questions or ask any other questions you may have. So the bank rating, summing this up, 3 types of credit. You have your consumer credit. Okay, payment history, utilization, length of credit, credit mix, new credit, account for what your score is. You have business credit. It's all based on how you pay your bills. If you pay your bills promptly, as agreed, you get a good score. The key here is to get accounts that report to the business credit reporting agencies, pay them as agreed. That gives you a good score. The more accounts you have that report, the easier it is for you to get approved for loans and credit without a personal guarantee. You have bank credit. Your bank credit score is based on primarily how much money you keep on your bank account on average over the last 90-day time period. So that being said, you can come in and have a low 5 rating and get the bare minimum to be lendable and have $10,000 to $40,000 in your bank account, a mid 5s if you have over 40 to 70, and a high 5s if you have over 70. So if you're going to get a bank loan, keep as much money in that bank account as you can over the last 90 day or the 90-day time period before you apply, even if you borrow money to put in the bank account. Remember, we talked about a great way to do that. The unsecured program, 685 FICO score of you or a guarantor to get approved. You get 0% rates for up to 150 grand. Veronica, for example, says her highest limit's about 25 grand. You're usually getting about 5 times the amount of your highest credit card limit. So in that case, that means she could get about 125 grand at 0%. You could take all the cash out on this. So if she got 125, she could take 125 out in physical cash, which is cool. Get approved even as a startup. It's unsecured, so no collateral is required. It's no doc, so no financials or bank statements are required either. And again, I think I mentioned you could get approved as a startup. So you could even use a program like this to get cash to put in your bank account to get your highest bank rating. But remember, this bank rating only applies for conventional banks. An On Deck, for example, an alternative lender wouldn't look at this, but an alternative lender like On Deck will look at your business credit scores. We get denials from them all the time because people don't have high enough business credit scores, primarily because they don't have any credit established. With these two guys here, with Equifax and Experian, they will give you a low score just because you have a credit profile established, even if nothing is reporting. Even if you never paid an account behind, they will still give you a low score. Okay, that's why you need to establish business credit. Even with alternative lenders, they care. Remember, when it comes to your bank rating, your 90-day average balance matters. The number of non-sufficient funds you have, you want to reduce that. Don't overdraw your account. You want to have positive cash flow, more money going in than coming out. You want to have consistent deposits going into your bank account every single month. You want to open your bank account as early as you can, preferably the day you get your EIN. And you want to have as many other open accounts with that bank as possible. Money market, other checking accounts, example. Guys, I went through and did an experiment once. In less than 45 minutes, I set up an entity, I got my EIN, and I got my bank account set up. So make that one of your initial steps. It's super easy to do and super fast to do. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you have any other questions, go ahead and get them typed in. I want to make sure that they are answered. I already have my EIN and DUNS. How do I check my business credit? Go to creditsuite.com/reports. And creditsuite.com/reports with an S on the end, reports. You could do a free check with Experian, Equifax, and DNB to see if there's anything that pulls up on your business. So John, if you do that free check and nothing pops up, you type in your business name and address and no results pop up, you probably don't need to pull your reports. But if anything pops up and shows they know who you are, especially with Equifax and Experian, it probably makes sense for you to pull your reports. You can go to creditsuite.com/report with no S, and you can actually get reports with all three of the reporting. Actually, go to creditsuite.com/reports. And I think you could check all three and get your reports with all three right there as well. Q says, can I PG my business and build it at the same time, then get rid of the PG? You can and can't. You can't get rid of a personal guarantee on an account once you've established business credit. So if I get a Staples account with a personal guarantee and then I build a bunch of business credit, I can't go back to Staples and say, my business credit's built, remove the PG. They won't do that. I'd have to close that account and open up another Staples account without the personal guarantee. So yes, you can fund your business with a personal guarantee. We talked about this unsecured program where you can get $150,000 in unsecured financing. It has a personal guarantee, but it also builds your business credit. So you could use that to get cash, build your business credit, then get even more business credit without the personal guarantee. But once you've established your business credit, you can't go get your PG removed from those accounts. Creditors will not let you do that. You'd have to close the account or reapply for the account to get it without the PG. Hopefully that answers your question. And Narayana, I can't pronounce that name, but thank you so much for sharing. Thank you guys, everybody, for sharing. That's awesome. How can I get everything? How can I get everything you just said? Well, first of all, if you go to facebook.com/credit suite, you can get all of our past video training, and we map out everything to do with consumer scores, the steps to build business credit, all those type of things. You can also go to creditsuite.com/Facebook. creditsuite.com/Facebook. Get a great free guide that maps out the exact steps for you to build business credit. And then we'll send you emails about funding and all kinds of other stuff we can do. The other thing that we can do is you can also just call us. If you call us at 877-600-2487, then we'll talk to you more about building your business credit, how we can expedite and take what might take you years to do and condense it to months. We can also talk to you about all different kinds of ways to get business loans, including that unsecured program as well. And again, we don't ever do anything on the loans, and we don't work with lenders that charge application fees. You're going to pay normal rates and fees that you pay with a lender. We even negotiate that and get that down for you because we do volume. So 877-600-2487. We'll talk to you more about building your business credit and all of your loan options, as well as that 0% unsecured financing. So I give you a bunch of different ways. Perfect. Good. You're awesome, brother. Hey, come out. I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys for coming. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. So we learned a lot. If you haven't been with us the last few streams, go back to facebook.com/credit suite. Go to videos. Click see all. You'll see all of our live streams. We do it every Thursday at 11. The last 3 weeks, this week we talked about your bank credit score. The week before we talked about, I think, your consumer credit scores. The week before we talked about your business credit scores. Then the weeks before that, we talked about how to get business loans. We talked about the 3 C's of lending. A bunch of different ways, like 20 ways you could get business loans. And the weeks before that, we mapped out the steps to build business credit. So I've had a lot of interest in building business credit. So I'm probably going to be circling back around next Thursday at 11, getting back into some training on business credit. A lot's changed in that space since we've revisited the business credit building. So we'll probably be jumping back into that. Again, Don't forget to grab your free guide. If you're not on our list, go to creditsuite.com/Facebook, a great guide that maps out how to build business credit, and we'll send you emails with all kinds of education. We'll teach you how loans work. We'll teach you how the business credit works. We'll teach you everything you need to know. And if you want to qualify for one of the loans we talked about now, the unsecured option, or if you want to know more about working with us for business credit, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. 877-600-2487. If you hit our voicemail, leave a voicemail. We have about 3 customer service reps to 1 sales guy. It's kind of how we roll. So that means you might actually call in our sales line, hit a voicemail from time to time. If you call our team back or leave a message, they'll call you back really, really quickly. They're really awesome about that. Thank you. Awesome stuff. Love you guys. Josh, you're the best, man. I appreciate that. Good job, Credit Suite. O'Neill, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. And Blankenship Investment Group, LLC, and 22 others. Thank you guys for sharing. That's like the most shares I've ever had. Anyways, can I talk to you personally? Connell, give us a ring. info@creditsuite.com. Send an email. That I check that email as well, and let me know what it is. And yeah, I might jump on a call with you. I have a team that's highly qualified that can help you with just about anything that you may need. As you probably imagine, everybody wants to talk to me personally, and unfortunately, I don't have the time to talk to hundreds of people. So I try to have a team that literally works right on that other side of the door. My team is right on the other side of the door, and if I can't get to you quickly, then one of my team will. And if it's something that I should jump in on, absolutely, I'll be on the phone with you. But don't be afraid to talk to our team because, like I said, I have a really close team that I work with one-on-one. They're right on the other side of this wall. So what I know, they know in a lot of cases because of the level of trading that we do. Can you explain the process of skipping vendor accounts if you have a business credit with a PG? Can you go straight to score accounts, or do you need to get vendor accounts before you get store credits? Okay, so let's talk about that. So to get to store credit cards when it comes to business credit building, no, Kenel, thank you, man. And I'll make sure you're taken care of. Like I said, if you talk to me directly or one of my guys, I'll still make sure you're taken care of. So you need 5 accounts reporting to get store credit cards. And the 2 most popular ways to do it are to use vendor accounts to get your 5. Uline, Quill, monopolize your marketplace. Or if you have good, and this is good because no matter how good your credit is, even if it's horrible, you can still get this. So even if you have bad credit, this option still works for you. But if you have good credit, well, then you might want to skip vendor accounts. Why? Because maybe you don't want to buy shipping supplies at Uline, or maybe you don't want to buy office supplies at Quill. Well, you can skip this if you have good credit or a guarantor with good credit, because you can get about 5 business credit cards at 0% up to 150 grand that report to the business credit reporting agencies, but these require a good score. So if you have a good score, well, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. We'll talk to you about this program. You'll not only get up to 150 grand in unsecured financing, you'll also build your business credit at the same time, get those 5 accounts to move on to store credit cards without a personal guarantee. If you don't have good credit, no worries. Then that's what vendor credit accounts are for. Use these to get your 5 to get to store credit. So hopefully that makes some sense for you. Okay, so Lilani. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing that as well. Roger Backman, thank you very much. Taylor Williams, thank you guys for sharing. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for hanging with me. I try to keep these as short as possible because we're all entrepreneurs, and I know you all are busy, and I don't want to keep you away from what you're doing. If we can help you in any way, let us know. 877-600-2487. Don't forget to grab your free guide, creditsuite.com/Facebook. And I will be back next Thursday at 11, as I always am, going live. And as we go live next week, we'll be talking more about business credit building and a lot more things in the weeks to come. Loans, credit lines, we're going to decode it all. Thank you for coming. I know how valuable time is. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 11. Perfect, Ty. Thank you. That helps. I have a 750 credit score. Alvin, that's awesome. Congrats on your 750 credit score. Now it's time to get rewarded. So give us a ring, 877-600-2487. We'll talk to you more. Watch this from the beginning, where we even talk a little bit more about how to get that unsecured financing for up to 150 grand while building your business credit. Perfect for startups. It's no docs. You don't need tax flow. You don't need tax returns or bank statements if you don't have the cash flow, and you don't need collateral. So if you don't have 401k stocks, any of that other kind of stuff, you can still get approved. Thank you guys very much for joining. I appreciate you coming on with us today. I'll see you next Thursday at 11 o'clock, where we talk more about building your business credit. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Hey, Roger, I can't wait to start working with you either. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the shares. I had like 20-something, 25 shares today. That's awesome. 26. Thank you guys very, very much. It really means a lot. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.